जयपुर वाया कोटा।
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत।
ലക്നൗ ജംഗ്ഷൻ
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೆಗೆ
হায়দ্রাবাদ 50 এক্সপ্রেস পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন। कृपया ध्यान दियो।
The Rajasthan fans are saying, Padharo Mare Desh. Riyan Parag, where have you been? This is the Riyan Parag that we were waiting for. This is the Riyan Parag that the Royals management was expecting. He has checked in today, and boy, he has checked in to the presidential suite. That's right, directly taking the lift up there. 84 not out of 45 balls, particularly harsh to Andrik Nokia, not respecting the reputation or the moustache of Andrik, and just really taking him to the cleaners in that last over. Remember, this is the same Rajasthan team that was 58 at the end of 10 overs. They have gotten to 185. This has been a fantastic batting display, a comeback from them. And the Delhi bowlers are scratching their heads saying, oh, that was a different first half of the innings and a completely different second half of the innings. But to discuss both halves, I have my better halves, Mr. Harsha Bhogle and Mr. Joy Bhattacharya here. I'm Gaurav Kapur, you're watching Cricbuzz Live. And first, we have to very slowly zoom in to Mr. Harsha Bhogle's face. And I want to ask you if you can read the arrogance that only can come from a person who has won the guessing game by just... Sir, टेढ़ा क्यों कर लिया मुंह आपने?
बहुत वक्त गंवाया आपने यहाँ तक आने का।
He's been waiting. Sir, Riyan Parag ने जितना वक्त गंवाया यहाँ ने उससे ज़्यादा तो नहीं गंवाया।
I was posing for 20 seconds and you never came to me.
So which is why I wanted you to hold the pose. It was great.
I'm not an actor. You are, so I don't know how to do that. But in all fairness,
kind of you.
But in all fairness, this is a program about the game and not about us.
No, one second. Wait.
Wait, that wasn't my contract.
What?
Was it in yours?
Please. This is
so I can no.
This hashtag humble I don't like. Okay?
No. Where
I was about us.
Where I was leading to was you were right to go to Riyan Parag first.
Oh, okay.
Because he scored today, but isme to
What he's saying is that Riyan Parag scores once in a while, Harsha Bhogle scores always.
No, but this is his 1 second. He's also common. This is the first correct guess, na? And that also by 1 run. I want to tell you, if it was 1 run more. Oh, Riyan has let me down by getting a single of the last ball. अभी पूरा ओवर ऐसे करके last ball पे single कौन लेता है?
Some people win on their own steam.
Yeah.
Some people need the assistance of overthrows.
There are bitter memories out here.
Bitter memories of the overthrow. But I mean, really, hats off to this Royals batting effort. 58 to 185, Joy. This is carnage.
No, absolute carnage. And the beauty of it is how well they did it.
Yeah.
I mean, Riyan Parag, okay, he comes in at that point in time. Ashwin is the aggressor.
Yeah.
Riyan Parag is 26 of 26 balls. Okay. He's 40 in 30 balls.
Yeah.
And then he reaches 85 in the 42, 45 balls.
Yeah.
I mean, just incredible, Yeah. The way he's done it is 84 in 45 balls. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that shows maturity also. Riyan Parag of 2 years back would have tried to hit sixes at that point. He let it go, bided his time and just...
Even last year, I think.
last year.
Look, if you remember...
Impetuousness of youth.
Yeah, if you remember, we had either we had a conversation with Sangakkara or he said that the clear message to Riyan Parag was go out in domestic cricket, bat number 4, play every game. He played... So this year, every time I checked out the Ranji Trophy scorecards, I'd go to Assam and I'd see what Riyan Parag was doing. And he was leading from the front. He was batting at number 4. He was bowling 20, 25 overs.
Absolutely.
But he was scoring runs of every ball in every innings.
Yeah.
And it is finally, nobody makes it unless they've done the hard yards when nobody is watching. And I think Riyan Parag went away from this image that he has of being this loud, arrogant, brash fellow, went back and did the hard yards in domestic cricket, and he's now ready to come. But you talked about responsibility. That is what he learned at Assam because he was the lead player there.
Yeah.
The team was built around him there. And it's interesting, our producers just sent us a tweet from Surya Kumar Yadav, where he says, I saw this young man at the NCA and I told the coaches, he's a different player now. This is Riyan Parag 2.0.
Yeah.
So you can see that the approach was visible. Look, it's only been a couple of innings, but there was something about this innings that stood out for me.
Well, the 2.0 is, the 1.0 was glitchy, right? The 2.0 is looking glitch-free, it's looking smoother, it's looking more mature. And the word that you used, I love the word that you used, responsibility, right? Today, you have seen responsibility because he came at a situation where things are very tricky.
Yeah. Look, in all fairness, 1.0 was too much glids with too little substance.
Okay.
And when people were saying what they were about Riyan Parag, they weren't wrong.
Well, it was, I don't think it was opinion, it was fact. He was not getting the runs in the IPL, right? So you can't take it personally, that's what it was.
Too much glids, too much come look at me.
Yeah.
Without the substance. Eventually, we all have to go back and do the hard yards. He's done the hard yards and he's saying, forget the glids. He showed a little bit of that, forget all that, but see the substance now.
But
that is what I loved about it.
Here's the thing, the showmanship can come after you've put on the show. Correct. Right? You have to put on the show.
That's a very valid point. Absolutely. And just look at the strike rate and just look at what he's done. The way he's accelerated from a strike rate of 100, he goes up to a strike rate of 133. He ends up at 186 and that's acceleration. What is the other thing that strikes you about it? Not one single over-the-top celebration. Because he knew there's another ball to hit, there's another run to get. I'm not going to celebrate now because the next ball I need to hit it.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of control, that whatever Sangakkara has spoken to him and his batting at 4, I think those are the 3 things that have unlocked him.
So look at who they've got in the top 7. Yashasvi Jaiswal, Dhruv Jurel, Riyan Parag.
Yep.
All products of one system. All the Rajasthan Royals, people, they've invested heavily in Rajasthan Royals. Yeah. They've made them go and work when nobody is watching. Yashasvi Jaiswal goes into that academy and just when no one's watching, hits 300 balls. They invested in Dhruv Jurel as well. I thought what we saw in the first 6, 7, 8 overs was bowling of the very highest caliber.
Superb.
From Khalil, from Mukesh, that one first over from Nokia, and then the early overs of spin from Kuldeep and Akshar. Sure. But thereafter, it's the Ashwin thing, man. Who sends Ashwin at number 5 over there?
True, and Ashwin is the one who unlocked it because the 11th over, this is after they are 58 for 3. The 11th over was bowled by Nokia. Ashwin hits him for 2 sixes there and immediately just unlocks something, right? It suddenly gets to 74, 75 in 11. Hey, this doesn't look too bad.
Yeah.
And then from there, it was just an upward trajectory. And that last over, let's talk about that for a second, right? I mean, Riyan Parag has hit Anrik Nokia for 25 in the over, 24 in 5 balls, basically.
Correct.
So he's hitting for 24 in 5 balls. I mean, the earlier Nokia was connecting lives. This Nokia is connecting 5 balls. Connected them right to the boundary. And then he gets a single in the last one. That's just because he was so well set at that point in time. 4-4, 6-4-6. The over before that, 15. And Nokia's bowled a 7-run over before that. Right? The 18th over was a 7-run over. We were all thinking this will wrap up 160, 165. But these guys have just done something in the end which has just been absolutely fabulous.
It's interesting what he says. He says, Sanju Bhai told me take it deep. And now that explains what Ashwin's role was. I think Ashwin was just sent out as a gamble. Take it on because we want this kid to bat deep. So we need the runs.
He can't take risks, sir.
We don't want him to take a chance. So you go and take the chance. This is what I'm starting to read between the lines now. Maybe that is why he was sent out. It worked today, another day it may not work.
Yeah.
But he hit 29 of 19. That was the catalyst turn. Don't forget even Dhruv Jurel, 20 of 12 balls.
Yep.
It's all these little innings that make a difference. What does DK say? Did you make an impact in the balls that you had?
Yeah, and they've
all made an
all
impact.
these guys did. And today, they rely on their big 3 at the top, which is, Jaiswal, Butler and Samson. And today they didn't get much from them, but everybody else has.
That's the best news for them. And I think this is the thing that's going to make a difference to all the teams. When your big boys are not scoring runs and the others are coming to the party and finishing, you know that, Jaiswal, Samson, they will get runs. Butler will get runs. Butler, a bad day will get 400 runs. So these guys are going to come to the party. But if the rest come, that's fantastic news for you because they're in form as well. Remember Gujarat in the first season that they won. Man of the matches were distributed all around. Their first 7 matches, there were 7 different man of the matches. And I think that is something that tells you what a good team is. This was a team in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
31 for 2, 36 for 3 in 7.2 overs. 36 for 3 in 7.2, where do you see 184, 185?
No, we won't.
One other
We
thing.
came back at Combox and said if they get to 160, 165, it'll be a very good back 10.
Yeah. One other thing. How many of you watching this program or how many watching this game said, send in Rovman Power? They're in trouble. They've lost 3 wickets.
Yeah.
Use the impact sub. Send in the batter. They wanted the bowler. So now they're going to get the 6th bowler to defend 185 because they resisted the urge. He was padded up. He was ready to go.
Yep.
I think if the Ashwin experiment had failed,
You're right.
or maybe if Dhruv Jurel had come in and got out, maybe then they would have considered sending in Rovman Powell. So he was ready. But because it came off, now they're in a position of strength. They've got the runs on the board and they've got the extra bowler.
I think the way they're using this impact sub is amazing. We saw it in the first game as well. And I tell you, these 3 boys you just named, Jurel, Parag and Jaiswal, this is the reason why I had, in the curtain raise, I mentioned these 3 names where I said I had Rajasthan as my playoff contenders. Yeah. Because your big international names, you'll always count on them. They'll always do well. But these are the 3 in terms of their India batters, and they have been showing that. At least Riyan Parag has shown it today. Dhruv Jurel has shown it today. Was not Jaiswal's game. Now look at their bowlers, right? Look who they have to defend 185. They anyway have a great bowling attack when it comes to the 5 that they play.
Yes.
With their 2 great spinners, they've got Ashwin and Chahal. They've got Trent Bolt, who almost always is like a vending machine for wickets in the power play, Joy. And you have Avesh Khan, Sandeep Sharma, who's this old warhorse who always gives them something. And now you get Nandre Berger. The brute force of Nandre Berger.
Come in and bowl rockets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what happens also is, therefore, you've got pressure all the way.
Yep.
Because top order pressure is going to come from Bolt. Bolt and Avesh are going to give you top order pressure. In the middle, Nandre and the 2 spinners. And then Sandeep at the end. And don't forget, Sandeep is one of the greats of the IPL.
Yep.
Sandeep, Piyush Chawla, these are IPL greats. They have a fantastic record. Harsha, you were talking about it. His record and Bumrah's record is not too different.
Even if you can be in the vicinity of Bumrah's record, you're touched by greatness.
Yeah.
And he is in close vicinity of Bumrah over a long career. Their strike rates are close by, the economy rates are close by, and we don't talk about Sandeep Sharma.
Yeah, he's one of those under the radar. And also, he used to get all his wickets up front. Huh?
Yeah.
Hero ka chota bhai hota hai na, do
Yeah. He used to be their up-front bowler, right? He used to swing it a little bit. And now for Rajasthan in the last game, he's come later in the back 10. And he's done the job there as well.
I think he lost his swing. He's reinvented himself beautifully to come back and bowl differently. He's just a clever bowler.
When we show you the Delhi bowling card, you'll easily be able to make out who bowled in the first 10 and who bowled in the back.
Good call.
Yeah? It's easy enough to see, right? Yeah. It's easy. There you go. Where Khalil, in fact, they subbed him out. Khalil bowled his 4 overs for 24. Akshar Patel bowled his 4 overs for 21. Andrik Nokia's first 2 was really good, but then after that he was expensive. Kuldeep's first 2 were good, and then the latter 2 were expensive. But here it is. Here is what has happened to them and has taken them to 186 is now the target that Delhi needs to get. They've got the batting.
They have, but the twinkling of an eye, it can get to 10. The moment it gets into 10 and over, 11 and over, now you're saying I have to get 3 boundaries every 2 overs.
Yep.
Minimum. So then suddenly you start to get tense. If you lose a couple of wickets, then you're already down. I think Mitch Marsh is the key here.
He's the key.
Because he always plays one way.
Yeah.
So Mitch Marsh is the key. He gets a start, he'll just take he'll take the pressure off. So they need that innings from Marsh. Because to be honest, I'm looking down. Pant, we'll wait and see.
Yep.
Then you got Ricky Bhui, Tristan Stubbs, Akshar Patel, Porel. That is the batting.
Yeah. It's
Sumit Kumar, thoda bahut.
It's not bad though, right? It's not. You're right, but they are depending on Mitchell Marsh because Mitchell Marsh is the current international in form.
Yes.
Right. He's been doing that for Australia. Of course, going to be leading Australia perhaps in the World Cup as well. This is his format. That's his position. Loves opening. He should really relish this challenge. Actually.
No, absolutely. If he and Warner, because Warner is consistently now from last year is a second fiddle player. He's a player, they actually play in the old concept where Warner sticks around on one side and the others bat around him, which I think a lot of the new teams are not doing anymore. But I think because of the way Warner plays now, he has to do that. He doesn't take chances up front. It's Mitch Marsh who takes. You look at that strike rate of 132. That's not really Warner.
Yeah, and Joy, this is not. We did mention with Warner that last year he had to play a different role for Delhi. This is all T20s for 2 years.
Australia, exactly.
Yeah. All T20s for 2 years. He's struggling to be the impact that he had before.
Yeah.
So you look at Warner coming out, and there was, wow, there's David Warner coming out. That aura, that fear, that's diminished slightly. And so I don't think the bowler is now as worried, damn, if I bowl badly, Warner will hammer me.
Nice.
So that makes a difference. That is what he's thinking about with Mitch Marsh today.
Well, it has been a story. The first innings has been a story of two halves. There was the first half that was dominated by Delhi. That was predominantly done by Khalil. Khalil, remember, bowled his 3 overs for 9 runs in the power play. All 3 overs, 1, 3 and 6. You bowl 3 overs in a power play, give away 9 runs, and then at the end of the game, you're substituted and you look at the score, you probably go into the dressing room, come and say, how did you guys make this 185? What have you done?
Hey, what did you do when I was away?
Yeah, I'll tell you what they did. It was Riyan Parag, right? And the back 10 was a story of Riyan Parag, who has finished at 84 not out in 45 balls, and it's just been an absolutely fabulous innings. So a story of 2 halves and 2 players dominating each half. But now who will dominate the next 20? Can Delhi actually break this rivage that has become of the home team winning? Will Rajasthan say Atiti Deva Bhav and let Delhi take these 2 points? It's going to be a fun game, I'll tell you that. Actually, you and I said at the 10-over mark that, yesterday was a batter's game and today is a bowler's game. No. Riyan proved us wrong in that. It's always a batter's game.
We also say they get to 165, wow, it'll be great. And they've crossed that by 20 runs.
Yeah, it's really been a fabulous batting performance.
How much they get in the power play? 31
for 2 in the power play.
The lowest power play this year.
Yeah.
So from 31, they've scored 6 times the number of runs that they made in the power play.
Wow, so 150 in 14 from then.
Yeah, they went from 31 to 186. So
Yeah, they scored more than 10.
I think 127 in the back 10 seems more impressive. Now you can slice and splice them any way you want, but the fact is they've got to 185, and that's what Delhi has to get. All right, we are going to do a guessing game for the power play of the second innings. We'll start with our defending champion.
Why don't the two of you just fight it out among
Defending
yourself?
champion.
Defending champion?
No,
Mr. Bhogle.
But you must get a chance, not two of you.
No, but we want to defeat you. It's not like you sit this one out and say, "Oh, yeah." You're not like, what is this? You're non-executive chairman now.
You have good to have
New
such
game has
ambition.
begun, sir. You start batting at 0. I have heard you say on commentary. New game, you start batting
I
at
like it
0.
when it comes back to you.
Why is he so happy?
Somebody's giving it back. I love it.
53.
53. आप क्या कहते हैं, sir?
47.
47. Okay, then I'll go to 58. 58.
See, that's the problem with being a follower. You don't have an opinion of your own. You see what others are saying, अच्छा मैं यहाँ आ जाता.
Sir, but it's silly.
आपका assessment है दिल में
Sir,
बोल
but
दो.
the fact is
बोल दो,
that
बोल दो.
when you, the thing is that when you have the Brahmastra, it would be silly not to use it. Right? I'm not like Mumbai. If I have Bumrah here with me, I'll bowl him in the power. I'll bowl him.
Oh, that was cruel. That was cruel.
Contextual humor. Contextual. Okay. I don't know why I'm going sideways. But in another 2 minutes, I'll just be like with my legs over this. Okay, that's it.
You live in Bandra, na?
Time to go.
Bandra में रिक्शा होती है ना?
Yeah.
So that's
Sir,
sit on the
जिस
angle.
दिन हम गाड़ी अफोर्ड कर लेंगे उस दिन ये रिक्शा वाले जोक भी नहीं सुनने पड़ेंगे क्या होता है मतलब सुनने पड़ते हैं चलो कोई बात नहीं बड़े भाई हैं चलिए we'll see you at the end of the 10th over on Cricbuzz Combox we'll see you then so thank you for watching Cricbuzz live भाई रिक्शा मंगाना साइकिल वाले नहीं ऑटो के पैसे हैं ऑटो मंगाओ बाय
जयपुर वाया कोटा
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೆಗೆ
हैदराबाद 50 एक्सप्रेस गौरवती स्टेशन नेताजी भवन कृपया ध्यान दो